Yes, sir. It's your boy Kyle the Kid and Mega the Boy, and welcome to another episode of Vibe with Your Boys podcast. Hey, Lil, how you feeling, Mega?
Chilling, man. Long day. I got a question for you though. I was thinking
Out
about
the
this
gate?
today. Yeah, I got a question for you.
Okay.
So you know how when you 6'5", 6'6"?
6'5".
6'5", okay. All right. So if somebody gave you a proposal, right, to take off about 7 inches off your height,
Why the
you
fuck? Why the fuck?
listen.
Okay.
Make you about 5'9",
Uh-huh.
but you immediately become worth like 500,000 off the bat.
500,000?
Off the bat, but now you 5'9", though. Like you regular people like me. So would you do it?
No. 500,000?
Yeah.
7?
So you
6'5"
5'9",
to
bro.
5'9"?
But you 500,000 off the bat. The moment you take off 7 inches, you got 500,000. You worth 500,000. Would you do it?
Can I consult with some people real quick?
No. It's a one chance. One chance.
5'9" not that short, right? It's not that short.
Nah, 5'9" is 5'9". You gotta think that hard about it, bro.
Bro, I've been talking my whole life, bro. Yeah, that's not something that I can just think about. Can I come back to it?
Bro, I'm not giving you that option, bro. Yes or no, bro.
If you making me choose right now.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. No, I don't think I would. I don't think I would.
So okay, cool.
I could get 500,000. I could get that. I'm gonna get that.
You can get it.
I'm gonna get that.
Okay,
you would have said like.
That's the answer I was kind of looking for.
Yeah, 500,000. That's obtainable. That's obtainable.
Cool.
Yeah, that's obtainable.
What's something that you love but you willing to give up for something that you want to achieve?
You guys running that?
Mm-hmm. Something that I wouldn't give up?
Something that you love but you're willing to give it up for something that you want to achieve?
Smoking.
Oh,
you
wow.
Just give it
so
up.
Yeah.
Somebody said if you stop smoking right now, for life, you're out of here.
If somebody said that,
yeah, you can't smoke ever again, forever.
I'm not listening to that. Are they telling me that if I stop smoking, I would get successful? Like, I'm looking at the bright side of it.
No, you can't never smoke ever again.
What's the reason?
You just can't do it.
Nah, that's not enough of a reason for me to stop smoking.
But you out of there though. Like whatever you want to succeed in life, you gonna get it. Just stop smoking forever.
Oh, just stop smoking
forever.
For sure, yeah, I do.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, because once I get it,
okay.
Kids, stop playing.
That's how it goes.
Okay.
If you guys haven't already noticed, we're gathered with a special guest here, Brandon Jovan from ETL, the label. What's going on, man?
I'm feeling good, man. I appreciate y'all boys for having me here today.
It's been a long time in coming. Thank you for coming through. Just before we get started, how has your 2023 been going?
Beautiful. I can't even
beautiful.
lie. Yeah, beautiful is the best word to describe it.
The best word. Okay.
Best word.
Why has it been beautiful?
Things that I dreamt about, it's kind of like happening. I think when you get to dream about certain things that you want out of life, sometimes you don't really see the details. You don't see like how it's gonna happen. So it's a beautiful thing and interesting thing when you get to finally get to that other side of a dream and see it finally come into fruition. It's like, damn, I would have never thought this is how it would have came. This is how it would have looked with me being here. But I remember all the times I done sat down and like thought about it, fathomed, like imagined.
So things that you've been imagining are starting to.
I'm living in it. I'm living in it. Yeah, so
that is beautiful.
It is.
That is beautiful. Brandon, I've ran into you many times over the last couple of years, but I've never really gotten a chance to speak to you and get a bit of your story. So I kind of want to start from the beginning. Originally, where you from?
Born and raised in Lauderdale Lakes.
Lauderdale Lakes.
Yeah.
So Lakes baby.
Lakes baby for life, for real.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely Lakes baby. Been there my whole life.
Yeah. What's your ethnicity, your family background?
Yeah. Jamaican. I'm the first person in my family born in America.
Oh,
yeah.
So they came from Jamaica and then
they
all popped up.
Yeah, literally. As soon as they came, I popped up right after. So it was like a new experience for everybody. Me and them.
And so making that transition, like, have you gone back to Jamaica since, or you just mostly just over here all the way through?
I haven't gone there to live, but as far as in visit, all the time, all the time. Since a kid, that's been rooted in. Like that's been a yearly trip until I got to a certain age. Okay. But even as an adult, I still try to, whether it's with my homies or whoever, we try to go to Jamaica. It feels like home to me. Like believe it or not, even though I was born here, when I'm there, it feels like relaxing. It feels peaceful. Like it feels like what home should feel like. This still feel like home too, though.
Gotcha. So now growing up in Lakes, Caribbean background, you know, Lakes basically like it's the hood, you know. So how was it for you growing up with Caribbean parents living in the hood and, you know, your youth?
That shit was hilarious. Hilarious. It was strict up until a certain point, and it was just strict in certain pockets. But like, because having Caribbean parents, they kind of see what is here and see what they don't want you to become. So with that in mind, they have their own set expectations, their own set standards, rules. Like, you feel me? In the house is one thing, but outside of the house is a whole different thing. So that used to have I used to go through a little conflict mentally in that aspect, because it's like, in house is Jamaica, is that type of upbringing. It's like rooted traditional. My parents is older too, so it's like traditional.
They old school Jamaican.
Yeah,
they even the new Jamaican.
Fam, exactly. Yeah. It's like traditional. You feel me? But when you go outside, it's like, you're dealing with adults that's not adults who talk just like how a kid would talk to another kid. Like, so experiencing that, it was real different. But once I got to a certain age, I think my peoples kind of realized I figured it out, in the sense of like, gave me a bit more trust, more leeway to like step out there for myself. And that's why I appreciate them, because they gave me foundation during the years that I definitely needed it. Like, if I didn't have my dad in my life, like a lot of my homeboys I grew up without a father in my neighborhood. And I was one of the few that had both of my parents. And if I didn't have him in my life, I would have been, you feel me? My decision making would have been different. Yeah, 100%. My decision making would have been different. I would have still been the same person, I think, but ultimately, I think I would have landed in situations I didn't need to. You feel me? So,
I mean, because my family's Jamaican, I grew up in Deep Side, so it's like kind of like a similar thing, to where it's like my mom old school Jamaican, like, but she was like strict, like I couldn't do nothing, type of thing, to where it's like, growing up now, I'm the type of person that likes to stay home, and I feel like it's because when I was a kid,
that's
she
what
always
you
used to keep me
conditioned to
home.
do, yeah.
So I learned to like just be comfortable at the crib,
exactly,
and vibe out. So it's like, when I hear you saying that like certain stuff ended up translating, like you having both of your parents in the house, your decision making, I feel like we don't realize what our parents are doing until we're like, damn, okay, like, yeah, you might have been kind of tripping a little bit, but I see where it comes from.
100%. I mean, shit. Even as a kid, I think I knew it. Like, I was aware of it. I knew what the fuck was going on.
That's
like,
another thing too. I think us as kids, like, we were like adult kids, like we just picked up on stuff.
And
like,
you had no choice. It's kind of like, if you don't get exposed to it, you won't pick up on things you don't know. But if it's certain things that's being done in front of you every day, you go down the street. It's not. My parents don't have to show me nothing. I can walk outside and go see it. I can go down the street to go see it. I'll see somebody else family do it in their house or something like that. So it's like, really and truly, they can't hide you from anything. So you really had to adapt. That was the biggest thing for me growing up, adapting to my environment. Until I got to a certain point where I got tired of adapting. I didn't want to adapt no more. I didn't want to try to fit in. I didn't want to try to survive anymore. I got tired of that.
So before we get into like you adapting, at what point did music become a big part of your life? From like youth or just always?
As legit. My dad don't make music, but he loves music. He listens to music. Like, growing up, I remember in the household, music being blasted throughout the house. Like, no matter what time of the day.
Like, what type of music?
Reggae music. Specifically reggae music. Yeah, I grew up in a household with reggae music mostly. Gospel music, obviously, that's my mom's intention. And listening to so much music, I feel like it pulled on a lot of like soulful backgrounds for me. So I knew I wanted to make something with intention, because I felt music. Like, to this day, I wake up and I imagine myself when I was a kid raising out of the water, listening to Destiny by Buju. So, and I clearly remember that, listening to the words that he was saying, and I was a kid, but those words stuck to me the whole time. I knew in my mind I needed to be like this music that I was listening to, because it felt like a calling. It felt like, I'm listening to it for a reason. Like, it's somebody, hey, come on, I'm just letting you hear this shit. This is for you. This is for you. I don't know what, but.
Now, reggae and gospel, the two predominantly played music or genres in the house. Was it okay for you to listen to hip hop, or like, was it okay for you to listen? So that stuff is like no go.
In the house, it was a no-go. So it wasn't no loudspeaker playing no this and that. Now, at the same time, I got 2 older sisters. So
Okay.
them coming to America at a young age, they got real assimilated to the environment quick. So let's say, for example, Saturday cleaning. We'll always be cleaning every Saturday morning. They'll be blasting all type of music. You feel me? All type of music. It wasn't until one time my old boy heard me listening to a J. Cole CD. That's the crazy thing about it. It wasn't even like no trap.
Yeah, it's J. Cole.
He
He might have dropped an F-bomb or something.
Fam, he heard J. Cole. That man said, "Why you listening to this in my whip?" And just smashed that shit. And I was like, fam.
Which album was it? Which project?
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights. Okay.
I had it on, we had downloaded that bit on the CD. So that shit hurt my heart. But nonetheless, I was a kid listening to Tupac. And once I listened to Tupac from my older sister, like I remember listening to that song, Letter to My Unborn Child. I think that was probably the first Pac song I heard. And the beat from that and what he was talking about, it was like, oh, nah, this is crazy. I don't know what this is, but this is crazy. I felt energy, like crazy energy from it. Like God-like energy. Like you can almost feel like you're in his shoes, like rapping, like you're him. Like I felt that embodiment from that.
Was that the song that did it for you that made you want to become a rapper? Like when you look back at it?
When I think about it, I don't know if it was that specific song. It might have been Pac's whole catalog. I think it was Pac as a person. Pac as a person made me want to rap.
One for you.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. He made me want to rap. Like watching him as the example made me see rapping as a medium that I can submit my message through. Like I didn't. Everybody else, it was just cool to see. It was entertainment. Like Busta Rhymes is one of my favorite rappers in the beginning because of his style. Like everything was just entertainment to me. Yeah, as a kid, I don't know. Everything just seemed real like big. Entertainment wise, yeah. So, but Pac, that shit felt like he was talking to a little nigga at the bottom. Like I don't know, as big as he was, it felt like he was talking to me, like sitting in this bit. So that's why I was like, oh yeah, this is whatever he do, I want to do that. I want to be just like that. I wanted to be just like Pac.
Because Pac is interesting. Because if you listen to Pac catalog, you get every part of Pac. You get the rowdy Pac. You get the
chill, the ladies
man, the ladies man. Like you get every version of Pac, and people be like, "Oh, this Pac wasn't. This not who Pac really was." I think Pac was everything he portrayed.
The whole thing, 100%. And I kind of strive for that as a person.
Yeah.
I kind of look at it as because I say this all the time. Like different people know different sides of me.
True.
100%.
You can describe Kyle to one person
as a fuck nigga.
Nah, I don't think nobody could describe me as a fuck nigga.
At least we know that.
I don't fit that description.
All right,
yeah, but you can describe Kyle to one person, they'll be like, "Nah, that's not the Kyle I know."
Yeah.
And another person, same thing. So I think that's kind of what it was with Tupac, like because one particular line, like when we talk about like, Tupac, the ladies man, I seen a video recently, like probably within the last week, and he was like, "I love women, but I hate bitches." And it's like that's
people hated that duality.
Yeah, duality, right? I think I sent it to you, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I love women, but I hate bitches, and they was like going back and forth. What were bitches and what were women?
Because like, both could be true.
Oh, because he was like, "Bitches, a bitch put me in jail."
Yeah.
Type of thing.
I remember.
Just like, and when you go to like Pac, and then like as far as like Brenna's having a baby,
exactly.
Like this,
but I admire that because that's a real nigga at the end of the day. Like even I was just using as an example, people look up to Martin Luther King. In recent days, recent eras, there's been different random news saying that like, oh, he cheated on his wife, different shit like that. So now people started to try and like, I guess cancel him, use that word. And it's like, fam, you adored what he did and what he was here for. Until you heard that detail about it. Not to say he was right for whatever, if it's true or not, but that's between him and that's his personal matters and may have been his fight as a man. But I don't feel like we should just look at people and just look at the good. You feel me? Like you got to take everything with them. You got to take the good and the bad with them. You feel me? And even with Pac in that example, I think that's just some like play on words. He's just saying, I love women as women, gender, but bitches categorizing specific type of woman. And low key could be niggas too. You feel me?
Yeah.
I don't like bitches, and that's a fact. That's in a sense, literally in a sense, not every sense, but in a sense. So it's subjective. Everything's subjective.
But a hit dog gonna holler though. A hit dog gonna holler. So all the bitches was hollering.
Yeah, I know.
Now, when did you? all of this, you listening to different artists, Busta Rhymes, Tupac. When did this transition into you actually getting into a studio though?
Man, that was many years later. Many years later. I
Like
didn't
what
get into
age did you touch the studio?
2017. So
Oh,
I
okay.
was 23.
So before that though, because you said the love for music was there, because I know a lot of people sometimes they just be freestyling, and,
Mhm.
writing. And were you doing any of that, or it would just happen like randomly?
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. The love was definitely there for the music, but I didn't have. There wasn't specifically any work ethic. I didn't know what to do to get better at it. Like rap to me, since legit was like a different language. I used to listen to niggas rapping and not understand what the fuck they even talking about. Like I hear
Mm,
bits and pieces of it, but it's like, what are y'all even saying? What English is this? Like, how did you piece? I don't understand it. It really was, as a person, I was just immature mentally to even understanding it. So I couldn't rap. My homeboys around used to freestyle all the time. I watched. I used to be in awe, like
mm,
in awe. How the fuck do you do that? You feel me? And I don't remember what specific time of my life it was, but Lord knows I just tapped in like to myself. Like it wasn't no practicing, it wasn't no reading no book, it wasn't no, hey, can you sit with me so we can write rhymes? Like I just started meditating a lot more, start getting more open at expressing myself. I think at that time I wanted to be the master communicator. So I wanted to just learn more and more ways to express myself and get my message across. Not a message to change the world, but me. I was dealing with that as an individual. Like speaking my truth to other people because I used to be afraid of what the results might be or be afraid on how I'm going to deliver it, different shit like that. So I was learning how to communicate. How am I going to get this off of my head so I'm not dealing with this and get
okay.
this across to the next person? So as I started dealing with that as a man, the music started to just Now I can freestyle with my homeboys. They freestyling with me. I learned it's like I picked up a like a native language. That's what it felt like. I don't feel like I just been knew how to rap. I didn't. I feel like it just came from just tapping into myself
Okay, so once you started learning yourself and wanting to get your thoughts out, you feel like it just naturally came.
naturally. Yeah.
Now,
Hold on, before you go on. Earlier in the conversation, you said that when you were listening like certain songs like from Buju or you listen to pop, you know that you wanted to convey a message and you didn't just want to rap. Do you think that the point where you just couldn't do it is because you didn't know how to release what you actually wanted to say, so it became harder for you,
It was
and
hard.
you just didn't want to just spill anything? It was hard.
No, that was it. I didn't know how to use that medium yet. It's like an instrument. Like I see y'all boys using that instrument, and I see how y'all could, woo the crowd, get them going, get your art across. And I pick up the instrument, and I don't know where to start. Like I don't know how y'all boys do it. Like I don't even know where it began. Like where did you practice? Did you like that's where the thought process was for me back then. To the point where I was so nervous and shy and lacking self confidence that I couldn't see myself doing that shit. It's like it was such a split in myself, internal conflict between my reality, my real doubts telling me, hey, you're just him. You can't, nigga, you a regular nigga. You can't step out in front of you can't rap. You hear these words these niggas talking, you hear people watching, you can't do that shit, fam. You know who you're not him, you're not that. And then on the flip side, when I get to listening to some Pac or listening to some real shit, I see myself like rapping in front of plenty crowds. I feel it. Like I feel the flow king, like the instrumental king. Like I'm da 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 da, no words. I just feel the flow, and that's where my freestyling started. With just I'm listening to a YouTube beat randomly one day, and I just hear my flow coming to it, and then I'm writing to it, like not writing to it, but piecing my words to it. Like I just take my time and fill in the blanks, if that makes sense.
yeah.
So that's really how the freestyling even just that started.
Now, would you consider yourself a lyricist?
I don't know. I think I'm a communicator.
I was about to say,
Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know. I don't want to lock myself to being a lyricist, bro. Because it's like, first of all, I don't even fuck with labels. Second of all, it's like I feel like I embody so much more than just that. I'm great at playing with words, but that's because that's something I feel like I learned to do. I can pick up anything else and learn to do as well too, as I think I have, as far as in like just embodying moods, emotions, X, Y, and Z. So it's like I don't think I'm just a lyricist. I think I could communicate my feelings, my mood.
I like that explanation because in a couple of songs, but one particular song recently on Greatness is "By the Lake."
Shout out to my brother.
Yeah, Mega likes that song. I like that song too,
Yeah,
but
it's fine.
I appreciate
it stands out with your voice because at first, me just playing it, not seeing who, of course, you know his greatness. He's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "That's Brandon." He's like, "Brandon sound like black on that shit," like,
that's real.
because it's the melody. It's kind of like melodic. You put the melodic in your voice at that time when getting on the beat. It's not the regular rapping that you do, to where it's a whole different other style.
Most definitely.
So that's how.
But it come off so effortlessly too. Like,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's how. What I think about when you say like a communicator, like different beat, different message, different song.
100%. You gonna have a different take on it.
Are you drawing from everything? Is just drawn from your life every time you rap?
Yeah, I think my art, because I see everything that I'm creating, anything. I just feel like my art embodies who I am as a person. I feel like low key everything kind of like blend into one character at this point. So I feel like I'm pulling from whatever it was my natural feeling at that moment, whatever I feel from the beat, whatever I feel in my mind. Like even now, I don't stress as much on like, damn, what I need to write about, what topics I need to go figure out and write about. Like lately, I've just been like, wake up, meditate, soothe my mind, pay attention to my feelings and my emotions throughout the day, and then shit just come whenever it come through. Like I just been like trusting in that process, because I used to try to like manipulate it a lot. So I think just trusting in that process allows me to literally just pull from my life. Like I'm submitting myself as like a vessel in that sense, where I'm trying not to really get in the way of myself.
Okay. Now, I want to shout out Envisionary, ETL.
Yes, sir.
I think people like you, and when I see people like you, people who are blessed enough to have others around them that are able to, you know, help them grow, mature with one mind, one goal, are very fortunate, because it's not that many times you see it. You know, a lot of people, you say like, bro, I do everything by myself, whatever. But in your case, fortunately, it's not that way. How did you come in contact or meet Sheldon, and then what was it to like, okay, I want to be a part of something and not just, you know, walk this path alone?
I think the path is divine. So I think once I started to I guess trust in the process and trust in God that he gonna, you know, see this through for a nigga, it was like, okay, cool. I know I stand here today and I don't have said resources. How am I gonna get it? Like I said, once I started tapping more and more into myself, I didn't go looking for Sheldon. Sheldon, me and him, we went to the same middle school, of which we weren't even close friends like that in middle school. We ended up going to the same high school. I don't think we were close like that at first, but it took its time and point in life where we ended up linking on the same sort of like trauma issue. Like we both were going through something similar at the same time, and that linked us up and allowed our friendship to tap into a different level, because I don't get to tap in with a lot of niggas like that. You feel me? On that type of level, as far as in like to express my emotion and let them know, damn fam, this is what I'm going through. I don't understand how I'm supposed to do this with this same type of moral compass. It wasn't too much niggas I could talk to about shit like that. So that already made him stand out as the type of friend that I had. And I knew, you know, back then, at that time, it was kind of like, as I look at it now, like an anime story. Like, we didn't know we were falling into line with each other, but as we did, we ended up taking upon our journey together. We didn't just, you know, damn, bro, I want to be a dog for the rest of my life. Like, it just gradually fell into that. You feel me? And then once we realized how great we were as individuals, it was like, bro, we got motion. We can get shit going. So we just started trying different shit. And then my own personal message hit me that I need to tap into this specific thing, which was rap or music. And I let Sheldon know. And he showed me support since then. And we knew at that moment we planted the seed and we knew what we wanted to get. We couldn't see what it looked like, but we knew where we wanted to be. We wanted to be able to do this ourselves and make our own team so we don't have to depend on anybody else. I've watched too many examples of niggas that join other shit and the root of the other shit isn't where it's supposed to be. So that's why shit fall, you know, you'll fall off the wayside or you'll fall off the branch, because it's like that root wasn't for you. You feel me? We are the root. We're the root of this shit. And I think I trust us being the root. You feel me? Because I know we're rooted in God as our source. You feel me? So it's like we won't get led astray. Even if we have disagreements, we always get brought together because the love of like the commitment we have to being the type of niggas we is, it always lead us back into the truth. So regardless of whatever the fuck be happening, we end up right back into the same spot together, figuring this shit out, what needs to happen. And that unfolded into many shit. It started from an event, unfolded into a studio, unfolded into a label, unfolded into what we sit in, and unfolded into blessings upon blessings for each of us as individuals. So that's how the whole connection even came together. Like just I think trusting in ourselves. And we realized that in each other. So it's like, all right, nigga, let's thug it out. Let's get it on.
I think one of the most important parts of what you said was rooted, roots. When I look at like groups, different labels who started out together, got to the peak together, and then out of nowhere it just crumbled. You can make the argument that they got away from their roots. You know, they got things happen. People were able to come in between and things like that. You mentioned like disagreements and arguments because sometimes it's so hard to trust others with your 100%. Career. Like, how do you make sure you personally, you always make sure you stay rooted?
I constantly check myself. I ain't gonna lie. I think I do that as a man. I constantly check myself. I get in my feelings a lot because I'm sensitive I'm passionate. Like the shit I love, I love. Like whether it's my dog or whether it's how I feel about a subject or it's my art, I'm just passionate about it. So I'm gonna get sensitive about shit, and I'm aware of myself at this point to know, okay, cool. If I know I can feel this way based off of how somebody comes at me, I always got to take the time to take that step back and think to myself, who is this person that's talking to me? Is it my enemy or is it my friend? You feel me? And I look at bro plenty of times. This isn't my op. You're not my enemy. So whatever you're telling me is to help me grow. Now, if I have to come to a compromise where I get more of my truth out as an individual so I can feel rooted in myself and felt like I made a decision for myself, I'll do that. But bro do a great job at having that open communication with me where it's like, we're going to talk this shit out. I'm going to tell you how he's going to tell me how he feels, but I'm going to tell him I'm going to root myself in what I feel, but at the same time, taking consideration what he got to say. I may not do that for everybody else as far as in taking consideration what you got to say. Certain shit, I just let my nuts hang. I'm going to step on that. If I decided it, that's that. I'm just moving on that. I don't go off of other people's shit.
Facts.
You feel me? So,
facts.
Now, fast forward to 2023. You just dropped the EP, Give and Grow.
Yes, sir. Shout out to my producers and engineers, Supreme KSD, A Said, you feel me? Super Mark, Zuma, Clayton, everybody, Kjo, all that, everybody.
Yes, Give and Grow just dropped in 2023. What's next for Brandon Jovan? Of course, you want to build off of that. You want to continue to remain consistent, but is there a plan in place for 2023, or you guys are kind of like, what's going on?
Yeah, I think I'd say the plan that we have in place as an individual and I think as a team is to be consistent in the engine that we created. So I think we took a lot of time to build certain things that'll help us accelerate forward. And at this point, it's kind of like all of our things are lined up in a good way. So we're looking at what we have what we have and how we need to execute. You feel me? In the sense of, I look at it like as I release more music, now I'm releasing with more of a presence rather than it's just myself just throwing it in the wind and just, praying y'all boys hear it. And when y'all see me, y'all show me love. But that's that. You feel me? It's like now it's going to be harder steps. That's why it's like, that's been the motion lately. Big stepper. Like we stepping heavy. Yeah,
you're going to feel moving intentional.
You going to That's that word. Intentional. Every steps are intentional. It's always been intentional, but now it's even more intentional as a team. You feel me? I've been intentional as an individual, but now it's like as a team. That's why I was happy you brought up that question. How do I deal with it? Because it's hard. It is challenging to trust others with your life. It's your life, your art, your whatever you is, whatever it is. Like people don't even like letting people like venting to other people, much less to, create something and let other, hear other opinion about it. You feel me? So it's difficult in the sense of that challenge. But once you realize you can live in that discomfort and you learn to grow a lot more, it helps me not waste time anymore. You feel me?
I think the teams that become successful and stay successful is when the players in the team want to see others win, sometimes even more than them.
Most definitely.
50 Cent said something recently to where he was like, he wished that it was him and 50 Cent was able to be the behind the scenes guy, and Tony Yayo could have been 50 Cent, because then Tony Yayo would be 50 Cent, still a lot of money, and he'll be 50 Cent behind the scenes, even bigger than where he was. So, and that says a lot. Like, I want my dog
to be bigger than me,
to have the success that I had musically, and to me, to play a whole different type of role. And I think that's something to be said about that. When you can look from the guy across you or whatever and be like, I want you to win, because if you win, that means I win.
For real. That's literally like we see that motion every day, and that's how we've progressed as a unit. It's like I think pouring that love into each other is really what helps build that foundation as a man. Like, damn, okay, I know what I'm doing, but I know I can do it because people believe me. You feel me? Like, you have to believe in yourself. I think that's the first thing foremost.
Yeah.
And then when you realize you have people around that believe in you as well, that's an extra step to continue to move forward without any hesitation. I think that's really what it be, is like that reassurance sometimes. Like, bro reassures me all the time in the sense of like, because I will feel down about myself. It's so much ways where it's like, damn, you can be that for yourself, but you're going to go through human emotion. You're going to go through life. There's going to be moments where you're going to be down. You're going to need someone to lift you up. So it's like living like that, it makes me want to pour more and more into people around me. I think you can look at me in greatness relationship like that. Like, at this point, me and bro just throw lobs back and forth. Like, we posted a picture where we at Trash's thing where we had the bucket, and it was iconic in my opinion. He threw the bucket and I was catching the bucket, and that's our relationship. Like, if I got it, you got it, Zoe. You got it, I got it, Zoe. And we've been going back and forth. That's how we met, is going back and forth just like that. Like, me helping, not me, but something that I'm a part of, helping him and where he was at, to the point where it spun around and it helped me where I was at. So
that reminds me, what you got against broke people?
I ain't got nothing against broke people. I just need broke people, one, to realize if you think that you broke, you need to fix that problem at home. You're not gonna fix that nowhere else. That, in my opinion, like, it starts at the crib. Like, when you go out, you just gonna get more and more reminders on why you need to do the shit that you need to do. Stay your ass at home and get the shit done. I ain't got nothing against broke people though.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You talking about broke people that don't realize they broke.
Yeah, mentally. Yeah. Like, look at your life. Analyze your life.
Why you trying to live that?
Why, bro? I can have a little fun. Damn, I'm just trying to leave a little stress.
A little fun don't be a little fun. After a while, you realize so much time done passed, and it's like, fam, you've been having fun for 10 years, fam. You about to hit to hit 30.
You ain't funned out yet?
Yep. Come on, fam. It's like someone has to get. You have to get to that point where you say, damn, all that shit I know I needed to do for myself, let me do this now. Let me do this now. I can't wait till later. Like, I had that mindset as a jit. Like, damn, certain things I know when I get older, I'm going to be this nigga. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this and do that. Shit, that's sometimes what I think about now. Like, damn, I should just did the shit when I had the thought. You feel me? Like, instead of me feeling like I was going to feel better about myself later on, or somebody's going to give me validation later on. And that's what I think that's what I was seeking from other people, instead of just giving that shit to myself. If I had just gave that shit to myself, of which I'm not mad, I went through everything for a reason.
Yeah, journey. Yeah,
of course. But if you really give that shit to yourself, you can get that shit done.
Now, you mentioned something in relation to, like, having fun. Of course, everybody would like to always be working, but in reality, everybody needs mental breaks. We need releases. We need things that help us relax. What are you doing outside of your work to have fun? Because, of course, you have to work-life balance, family, relationships, friendships. How do you balance all that?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, because I think that's something I'm currently experiencing and still making my way through. Certain things that was fun for me when I was younger ain't fun for me no more. So I had to reevaluate myself, reevaluate my life. I think I started gaining more fun in being present in moments that I knew I wasn't present. Like, even if it's being around the family type shit, or like all type of, as just growing up, you around your peoples, and these is moments that you think gonna last forever. So you in your phone, you probably trying to hit up your dogs, you probably trying to leave the family function to go chill with your people, different shit like that. At this point, I don't do that. Like, I show up to my people functions. I'll sit there. I'll do whatever I need to do. I'm trying to be like
Present.
here with y'all. Yeah, I think I have more fun in that aspect. I'm having fun because it's like these are moments that I didn't realize I was overlooking just because I was so bent on the future type shit. So I think being present has helped me have a lot more fun. Like, realize, damn, it's shit that I can appreciate right now. Damn, I ain't stressing. Like, I know what I want to get out of life, but I can still enjoy this shit right here, right now. Like, we vibing, we smoking, we cooling, we da 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 da. Like, I enjoy even just company, energy, shit like that. So I think what I mostly try to do is surround myself around people that make me feel good, things that make me feel good, activities that make me feel good, which is really like being around a team, getting shit done. Because now at this point, our work is our play. So it's like us getting shit done. That feels great for me. That feels real good. Like, we're having fun. I'm having fun at that point. Because it's like, we ain't talking about shit no more. This shit is getting done. Like, when you see the results from that shit feel good. You feel me?
Before we end up, it's crazy about what you just said. Like, especially when you got so much future plans that you want to accomplish. Sometimes you get lost and just think about the future that you fail to like just enjoy the journey that you're on right now.
Most definitely.
Especially like when you got this plan, that plan. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Sometimes if you just enjoy the journey right now, you get there. You're like, damn, I ain't know I was gonna get there this quick.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's what I've been realizing a lot more.
Yeah.
I've been, that's that being present thing. When you start being present, you start to see more things in the moment that you probably used to overlook. I know I definitely used to, because it's like I'm not thinking about shit like that. My mind is tunnel vision. You feel me? Like, I'm going straight towards what I'm thinking about. But when you just sit down and plant, you feel me? You get to really sit down and look around like, damn, okay, cool. It's a lot here in this moment that I could work with, that I could, that could even help me get closer to my future, that I was just overlooking, because it's kind of like, you try to be the controller of your own destiny.
Yeah.
You feel me? You try to be the captain of your ship, so you know what's best for yourself. You know what you need. But I'm telling you that, like, letting go, letting God thing, submitting, that shit has helped me in so many ways to, like, relinquish anxiety and extra thoughts off my head. And now it's like I feel freer wherever I go. I can sit down and have a surface conversation with a person now. Back then, I feel like, because my mom was always thinking about the future, I ain't trying to talk to you about this shit. If it ain't related towards what I got going on, I'm not trying to talk. But nowadays, it's like, fuck it. What you talking about today? Basketball? All right. Well, how that shit looking? You feel me? like shit feel different.
Now, best of 2023, Giving Girl dropped. What can we expect next from Brandon Jovan?
Music videos. I think that is one of my one of my last piece of puzzles. Hold on quick. Let me get this from my guy. Music videos. I think that's one of my last pieces of the puzzle as an artist, that I've never dropped a music video. And I've been trying since 2017. You feel me? So I think that was very intentional. Now that we have resources where it is, now that we're in the mental space that we're in.
Have you ever shot one and it just not come out?
At this point now, like within the past, when I shot that with TJ, what was that last 4 months? 4 months ago.
But that was the first one you ever shot?
Like 6 months ago. Yeah. First one I ever shot. Yeah.
Okay,
late last year.
So very intentional.
Yeah, definitely. Because when you kind of have things in mind, I don't know. I want to half-ass it. So it's like I want to present it in a way that I know I see fit. Especially because we see so much art that's being dropped every day, and it's like vomit. It's like, is there so much vomit? And it's like, damn, nothing feels good. I don't even be caring for shit. So it's like, I want to create shit that I care for.
So 2023 music videos.
Definitely.
So we're going to go from not seeing any music videos from Brandon Jovan to seeing a few.
Yeah, you're going to see. Let's go for past that. You feel me? I ain't going to put no number on it, but hopefully you see as much as you can throughout this year.
Could we expect another project to drop?
Most definitely. I can't tell you when, but definitely before the year finishes, a project will drop. Singles, I definitely plan to drop singles. I plan to get motion going in a lot of ways musically. I want to tap in with a lot of other local artists. I think that's one big thing I never had a chance to do because I was moving to the future. But being present now, I know I want to tap in.
Collaborate more.
Yeah, definitely. Because we got vibes here together, and we can grow together. So why not tap into that? So definitely on that. We have an event this Friday. It's called Room. Room is something that the team we created in the sense of it's like a way to get to know the artist a lot more in a sense of like a Q&A / performance, where an artist gets to perform in front of an intimate crowd. I'll be the host of that. Something I get to host. I haven't hosted nothing since the Speakeasy. That was something that we used to do every month. So I'm excited for that because we got great artists, Zaya, Greatness, Kalen. So that shit gonna be lit. And then I'll probably say a lot more touring. Oh yeah, definitely. I want to tour. I plan to tour. I plan to perform on a lot of stages here and outside of Florida. Definitely outside of Florida, because I know a lot of people fuck with my vibe. A lot of people do. So at this point, it's just presenting myself to these people.
Continuing to show.
Yeah, 100%. But overall, I think what you'll get from me as an artist is consistency. That's my main thing.
Looking forward to it.
Lock into self-discipline and being consistent.
Looking forward to let the people know where they can follow you at, find you on all platforms, wherever.
Y'all can follow me at Who Is B2 Raw. Y'all can find me anywhere as far as in like music platforms. Brandon Jovan, Jovan. Tap in with my YouTube. You feel me? I got some freestyles on there. I'm about to start dropping a lot more like like freestyles as far as in like just short little impromptu freestyles. Just to display my art a lot more. I love that part of the craft. So yeah, y'all tap in with that. Tap in with the gang and Visionary. You feel me? And Visionary the label. Visionary Studios. Shout out to my brother Greatness. Shout out to the whole team. Sheldon, Tastes Like Rum. You know what I'm saying? Joe said. Shout out to y'all boys.
Shout out to everybody.
Yeah. So I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all again.
You coming through, Brandon. It's Kyle the Kid, Mega the Boy. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And we out.
Yeah, it is.